Internet, it is I, the Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. Welcome to 2024. Got our first 2024 movie. Unfortunately, I wish it was something better, but instead, we are stuck with Night Swim. So, as usual, we're going to be going over the pros and cons. So, let's get to it. Pros. This is the first week of the new year, the first weekend of the new year, and you know what that means. When it comes to the movies, you gotta start the year off with a horror movie. Why is that? I don't know, but that's just how it is. And it's been going like this for over a decade, pretty much. It really truly kicked off with The Devil Inside back in 2012, and pretty much almost every year since the year started with a horror movie. Like 2013 was Texas Chainsaw 3D, 2014 was Paranormal Activity Marked Ones, 2015 was Woman in Black 2, I think. 2016 technically was The Forest. 2017, would Underworld count? I don't think that's really a horror movie, it's more action. I know there was Bye Bye Man like the weekend after. 2018 was Insidious Last Key. 2019 was Escape Room. 2020 was The Grudge, that weird sequel that we all thought was a remake. 2021 2 had nothing as far as I know. And then last year we had Megan. So yeah. And usually these movies do pretty darn well. Helps that they're super cheap. But they perform very well. Megan last year opened with over 30 million. Like during Avatar 2's reign of dominance, like Megan's like opening day, that was like the only day Avatar 2 wasn't number 1. That one day Megan was able to, knock it off its perch, but obviously it regained its perch very quickly. But yeah, so this coming out the first weekend of January, that's not surprising. And considering the box office track record of these early January horror movies, it makes sense it would pop up here. So I'm going to say it's a pro. Its release date is a pro historically. So that's pro number one. Pro number two, this is from Blumhouse, I believe. Yes, Blumhouse. Anatomic Monster. Apparently they had a merger that just happened, like literally a few days ago. Yeah, Blumhouse, they are, one could say they're kind of the kings of horror movies right now because they've made so many hits. It's crazy. Like they have so many hits here. Obviously with like the first Paranormal Activity movie, and then Paranormal Activity 2, and then Insidious, and then Paranormal Activity 3, Sinister, Paranormal Activity 4, I guess. The Purge movies. Let's just go with the Purge movies, the Insidious movies, Paranormal Activity movies. Whiplash to a much lesser extent. Ouija was a big hit, unfortunately. A lot of these movies here were low budget, but were able to make their money back very fast. Like Boy Next Door, Lazarus Effect, Unfriended, The Gift, The Visit was a nice little hit. Then after that, a bunch of the Purge, Ouija, Split, huge hit. Get Out, massive hit too. Both, really popped off in early 2017. Then you got Happy Death Day. Then you got Insidious Last Key. Truth or Dare did well. Halloween, the 2018 movie, did spectacular. Then you got Glass and Ma, and then after that, what do we have? Invisible Man was like the last hit we had before the pandemic changed everything. um, then you got Halloween Kills and Black Phone, which was a big hit. Halloween Ends. Let's ignore that one. And then last year you had Megan. You had Insidious: The Red Door. Exorcist Believer didn't do that great, but then you got Five Nights at Freddy's, which just destroyed my expectations box office wise. It made more in a weekend than I thought it would have made worldwide, the total. So, yeah. So as you can see, Blumhouse's track record is pretty strong. They have plenty of hits under their belt. So obviously I'm going to have to label that as a pro. And I think that's all the pros I got. Well, actually, no. There's one more pro. There's no competition or any competition at all, or any direct competition, because everything else is from a different genre. Wonka and Migration are family movies. Aquaman 2 is a superhero movie. Anyone But You is a rom com. Um, Everything else is just different genres. There has not been a single horror movie out there since Thanksgiving, and there won't be another horror movie out there till oh god. I'm gonna say Lisa Frankenstein, but if it's not that, it's probably that imaginary movie. But yeah, there's no direct competition in sight, so that's a pro. And I think that's it with pros. Okay, cons. Reviews for this movie are not good. In fact, they are ass. It has a 27% critic score, so that's not great. Audience score refuses to pop up. It's just not there. I can't imagine it'll be very high when we eventually get that score. But what I do have is the cinema score for this, and it's a C, which is pretty average for horror movies. But yeah, it seems word of mouth is very much not good for this. So yeah, weak reviews, weak cinema score. Although it's average for horror, it's still not very good. And I imagine just weak audience reception. Yeah, that's obviously a con. Another con is the premise itself to me is so silly. Like so silly that I can't take it remotely seriously. Like a haunted pool. Like that's the main antagonist here. A haunted pool. It's so goofy. Like I can understand like the ocean, like the ocean, like making a horror movie about the ocean, because the ocean can be kind of terrifying sometimes. But a pool, a chlorinated pool, like really, like I don't understand like how this is supposed to be scary. I don't. I don't see it. I don't. Apparently, This was originally a short film, and honestly, it probably should have stayed a short film, because I don't know how you can make. How long is this? An hour and a half. You make an hour and a half movie about a haunted pool. Like, come on, dude. So, the ridiculousness of the premise. It's not even like a fun type of ridiculous. It's ridiculous where you're just like, why are you making this? So that's a con for me. Just the plot is just too stupid for me to um just even take this seriously. So that's a con. Another con is that even though there's no direct competition, there's still plenty of movies out there. Plenty of better movies out there. Wonka has been dominating the box office recently. So you got like that. It's Migration. Aquaman 2, I guess, even though that's a huge flop. Anyone But You has gained a surprising amount of momentum. I'm not sure why, but that's been gaining quite a bit of momentum. So I imagine some people would rather watch that. And then next weekend, we have a bunch of movies coming out. We got the Mean Girls musical movie. You got The Beekeeper. You got Soul coming to theaters for the first time. Book of Clarence. Like, there's a lot of movies out there. There's a lot of variety out there. And I imagine all those movies are probably, you're better off watching all of them compared to this. So, yeah. So, general competition with so many options out there, that's a con. So, And I forgot to mention Thursday previews. Almost 1.5 million. I mean, for a movie that isn't like a franchise flick, I mean, that's fine. That's not great. I mean, for comparison's sake. Um I gotta find it. Megan, where are you? Okay, Megan. Last year, same weekend, that had a Thursday preview of 2.75. Although that movie had way more hype going into it, had better reviews, it had memes. It was fueled by memes and Megan's now iconic dance. Like Night Swim doesn't have any of that. So yeah, it's less than half of Megan. So that's I would say that's not good, but for its for itself, I mean it's okay. It's merely okay. So I guess that's a minor pro, says Thursday previews aren't like horrible or anything. And I believe that's it. I don't have anything else to say. So opening weekend, this should hit double digits, judging by those preview numbers. But I don't think it's gonna hit high double digits. It's gonna be very low. I'm gonna say 10 million. I'm gonna go with 10 million. Maybe like give or take like a million or above or below, but I'm gonna go with 10 million. And its total, I don't see this having long legs at all. Historically, these early January movies, they crash and burn real quick. And I don't see this being any different. So I'm gonna say 20 to 25 million final total. And that's it. And that's it for the weekend. Only one movie, which is a blessing considering what I had to go through during that Christmas weekend. Like that was awful. I had to cover like what 8 movies in the span of like a few days. Like that sucked. Sorry, that sucked so bad. So I'm really thankful to only deal with one movie this weekend. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do that next weekend because I got 4 movies to discuss. Beekeeper, Book of Clarence, Mean Girls, the musical, and Soul, a movie I never thought I'd make a prediction video for, but here we are. Then the rest of the month is just sad, real sad. There's ISS, Origin, I guess, and Miller's Girl. It's pathetic. It's so pathetic. So yeah. Yeah, but next week we got 4 movies, so stay tuned for those. But yeah, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn notifications, share the whole drill. This is the first 2024 prediction video I've made, so there's literally nothing on that playlist besides this video. But if you want to watch any of the past prediction videos I made on the channel, particularly all the ones I made last year, and you can see how wrong I was with a lot of those predictions, just to have a good laugh. You want to do that? Fine by me. Go right ahead. And then there's also the canceled series where I go over all the movies that were supposed to come out but didn't. I covered Night Swim twice. Wow, okay. I thought it was only once, but I was wrong. So I covered it twice. The first time was episode 171. I talked about it alongside Megan 2.0, which is coming out next year, same weekend, funny enough. Talk about that. Biao is Afraid, The Hill, and The Machine. That was episode 171. That was the first time. Second time was episode 186. 186. Talked about it alongside Love Again, Next Goal Wins, and Speak No Evil. So, yeah. Talked about it those 2 times. But if you want to watch any of the past, so you want to watch those episodes of Canceled, go right ahead. If you want to watch any of the other episodes of Canceled I've made, all 230 some. Let me check. It's 230. No, not even 230. It's 225. So, want to watch any of the past 225 episodes I made on the channel, you can go right ahead. I am highly encouraged to do that. You want to binge it all, I highly encourage you to do that, so go do it. There's also box office recaps where I go over the box office results for any particular month. Next week, I will do my December recap. And then the week after that, I will do my 2023 recap for winners and losers. I don't want to do that all in one week. That would be too much and it would kill me. So I'm going to space it out a bit and just do my December recap next week because December was sad to say the least, but there were some positives. It wasn't, totally depressing. There were some positives, but there were some negatives too that I will discuss. So stay tuned for that video. And then for my 2023 recap, it's going to be a lot. There are going to be some positives, but there's going to be a whole lot of negatives because 2023 was quite the year when it comes to movies and, seeing how audiences, their tastes have evolved in the last like 12 months. So stay tuned for those videos. But if you want to watch any of the past recap videos I made on the channel, you can go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.